All right, good morning, everybody. We're going to get started. My name is Angelica Robles. I'm here to welcome you this morning. Thank you for being here and for your continued energy and engagement throughout the conference week. As a reminder, today's session is being recorded and will be available on CSUN ATC TV within 24 hours. We're thrilled to have today's presentation brought to you by Google, titled What's New in Google Accessibility. Please join me in warmly welcoming our presenters this morning.
All right, thank you all for coming out bright and early for What's New in Accessibility at Google. I'm James Stout, I'm a software engineering director, and we've got folks here today from a variety of roles, including program manager and UX design. We're going to be providing updates on Google products across the whole company on what happened in the last year. First, let's start with a little bit of history. Since our founding, Google's been working on a singular mission: to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. And although AI has only grown dramatically in the public imagination in the last few years, it's been central in Google's path towards universal accessibility for well over a decade. So let's start with in 2009, when YouTube released automatic captioning, which at the time was a moonshot project to caption the world's video content using speech-to-text, and it was spearheaded by a deaf Googler, Ken Herenstein. Today, YouTube generates captions for billions of videos and supports 67 languages. And although it was designed for deaf and hard of hearing users, research has shown that 80% of viewers are more likely to finish a video with captions or subtitles. In 2018, Android released Voice Access, which was the first major platform-wide voice control solution for mobile. And it leveraged speech recognition to provide device access to people with limited hand dexterity. In 2020, we upgraded that with on-device icon recognition that provided intuitive speakable labels to dozens of common icons so that users no longer had to depend on a numbered grid or app developers labeling those buttons consistently. In 2019, Chrome released automatic image description. This enabled screen reader users to get descriptions of images even when their alt text was missing, which improved the accessibility of billions of unlabeled images on the web. During the beta testing phase alone, this generated over 10 million image descriptions. That same year, Android also released Live Transcribe and Live Caption. Captions could now be provided in real time for any audio on someone's device or in the world around them. And today, Live Transcribe supports over 80 languages and dialects, and captions sound notifications for things like smoke alarms and baby cries. And it's on over 1 billion devices worldwide. In 2022, Pixel released Guided Frame, enabling users to take selfies using haptic and audio cues. And this has been a huge boon for blind and low vision Pixel users. One of our Pixel fans who lost his vision later in life uses Guided Frame to maintain his daily tradition of sending photos to his daughter. In 2023, Lookout launched Image Questions and Answers, which enabled Android users to ask questions about photos on their device and get AI-generated answers instead of just a single generic description. And this was released first as an accessibility-first feature. This actually set the stage for Google's later launch of Gemini with its understanding of images, sound, and videos. So with that, I'll hand off to our UX design lead, Perrin, who's going to talk about co-creating with communities.
Sweet. Thank you so much, James. Ooh, we just moved the laptop. How testy. A key part of these innovations has been our co-creation across disability communities. We wanted to share this process because this is really core to how we work. With that, we want to take to heart the motto popularized by James Charlton: nothing about us without us. This approach emphasizes involving community early to find solutions, recognizing that lived experience is paramount here. At Google, it's a core part of how we work to engage communities through conferences like CSUN. Please give us feedback. Come by our booth at the conference, come up here after the talk. We are literally writing all of your feedback down in sheets, bringing it back to our teams. We also do stuff like co-design activities where we bring in different people with disabilities, different groups into our offices, and we work side by side with them on all of the innovations that you just saw. It's really core to us kind of focusing on working with users rather than just testing with them. We also have tons of people with disabilities as Googlers, and we engage with our Disability Alliance employee resource group often. Google also works with academic institutions, nonprofit organizations, and smaller companies to share knowledge and expertise. We're one community, and we want to ensure new accessibility features, innovations are also built with that community. That's our quick intro. Now it's time to get into the fun stuff. We have updates from a variety of teams. Some of these you may have not even known were part of Google. We have updates from Gemini, Android, Chrome, Android XR, YouTube, Maps, Workspace, and some broader resources that we're going to run into today. So let's start off with Gemini and DeepMind. Everyone's talking about AI. Your grandma's probably texting you like, what's up with AI? Should I be learning this? We have some really helpful tools that we wanted to plug today, along with some tips. First off, we've got Visual Interpreter. This is a dedicated experimental AI initiative built with the blind and low vision community right in our app, Project Astra. This is a specifically tuned conversational AI model for visual interpretation. It reacts to changes in the visual world, like describing what it sees through your phone or these new AI glasses through its camera view. The prototype also works with our other Google products, like Maps, Photos, and Lens, to accurately identify objects in the environment that appears. We've partnered with visual interpreting service Aira to develop and refine Project Astra for blind and low vision users. Aira users and interpreters helped us tailor this prototype for their community, really built for and with blind and low vision users. Now we're offering a trusted tester program for early access to the prototype. I think a really key component here, we're excited about AI, we're excited to lean into it, but by working with Aira, we also have live professional human oversight available, so you can always fall back to a real human instead of just relying and hoping AI is accurate. We wanted to share a video here. Meet Dorsey. Dorsey Parker is a musician. He also has 8% vision and is losing the sight he has. We have a video to show how he's using Visual Interpreter.
Forested mountains stand shrouded in a soft blue haze. In an old photo, a child
I am also going to move these captions live so it's easier to see them.
sits with an electric keyboard. Then as a teen, they play a red electric guitar.
I remember as a child playing till it got dark outside to make sure I could still play guitar without being able to see. I was diagnosed with retinitis pigmentosa when I was probably about 4 years old.
A cursor highlights text. Retinitis pigmentosa, vision loss. Now as an adult, the musician wears glasses and looks through the childhood photos. The photos blur at the edges.
My vision is actively deteriorating, but music has been something that I can continue to do with the closing in of my visual reality.
Text appears, Dorsey P., musician. Stage lights ringing Dorsey blur and then dissolve. Dorsey's fingers dance across a guitar's fretboard in purple lighting.
I feel free when I'm playing music. If Project Astra can help me be more independent, it would be, the greatest thing ever.
A van drives along a highway, then under a sign for the Blue Ridge Parkway.
Touring, for example, I love it because I get to go out and go to places I've never been before and meet new people, but it definitely is becoming more difficult.
Dorsey follows someone into a venue called Grey Eagle. In a green room, Dorsey holds up a phone open to Project Astra. The phone's camera takes in the space.
Hello there.
Hello, can you tell me what you see in this green room while I scan around?
I see a sign on the wall in the direction you're facing. The sign says Wi-Fi network, the Grey Eagle, and the password is live music.
Thank you very much.
Dorsey lowers the phone from the sign on a set of double doors. Text, research prototype, sequences shortened.
Can you help me locate a microphone stand?
Sure, I can help with that. Do you mind if I turn on the flashlight?
Yes, please.
Dorsey aims the phone at a wall of equipment. In the red-lit space, the phone's flashlight turns on. It illuminates the pegboard wall.
I see a wall with several coiled cables, and what look like mic stands towards the top right in the video.
Dorsey steps toward the mic stands. Then Dorsey takes the stage using a white cane. An assistant trades an electric guitar for the cane.
The most powerful thing I can do is to get on stage, pick up my guitar, and play. Helps people understand that there's more than just blind or not blind, disability and ability. If Project Astra could help me along the way, I'm all for it.
Dorsey nods in the interview.
Have a great time at your show.
Purple and yellow lights shine on Dorsey playing guitar. The Google logo appears, a G in red, yellow, green, and blue.
Sweet. We are super excited to continue to experiment in the AI space and figure out how to get ahead, explore these innovations, and figure out how to bring them into our real products. Also, highly recommend you check out Dorsey Parker. He's a great musician, great guitar player. Next up is going to be Gemini Live. Great news, many of the AI innovations that you just saw in Project Astra are now available in Gemini Live on your phone, Android, iOS, anywhere you are pretty much. Gemini Live is a more natural way to chat with Gemini. Go live to brainstorm and organize your thoughts, or share your camera or screen and get real-time spoken responses. We've heard a lot of positive feedback from the disability community around sharing your camera for real-world understanding, very similar to Dorsey in the video. Also, being able to share with your screen, you can ask the conversational AI for feedback, especially if you're experiencing an inaccessible app or website. This is a way that AI can jump in and explain what is on your screen. This is available to mobile users in 45+ languages. It's also multilingual, which is really awesome. It's available in over 150 countries. One other area that we've been leaning into with Gemini Live, again, now that we're multilingual, now that we have all of these new innovations, we've been figuring out how to do captions best. So within Gemini Live, you get both captions for what Gemini is saying, as well as what you are saying to make sure you are understood. Next up, here's a few helpful tips on how to make the most of Gemini. We specifically heard these from some of our co-design efforts with the neurodivergent community around sharing additional context and preferences. You can try setting permanent preferences in your instructions for Gemini. This is right in settings. This can save time and reduce the frustration of over-engineering your prompts. For example, if you find long blocks of text, we all have seen it, you ask AI a very simple question, and it gives you 5 paragraphs. You can ask Gemini, hey, I would prefer shorter paragraphs. I actually love bullets, and it will take that and kind of personalize your experience. You can also ask for other things like prioritize scannability, add distinct headings. It will make sure those headings are formatted best also for your screen reader, and add plenty of breathing room in responses. You can also share personal information, whether it's about your disability, your identity. That way it gets to know you a little bit better and can tailor the way it responds to you. If you want to nerd out, we also have a deep dive session later today covering more on Google's approach to AI and accessibility. How should AI be implemented as an assistive tech feature, like in TalkBack, and a foundational model capability, like in Gemini and Visual Interpreter that we just saw. We'll be in Grand GH at 4:20 p.m. With that, I'm passing it over to Anna to cover Android.
Thanks, Perrin. Hi, everyone. I'm Anna, and I'm a UX design lead on the Android accessibility team. Today, I'm going to dive into the world of Android, the Google-built mobile operating system. First up in Android, I want to provide some new updates about some of the tools we offer for people with vision needs. Last year, we brought Gemini's capabilities to TalkBack, Android screen reader, which provides people who are blind or low vision with AI-generated descriptions for images, even when there's no alt text. Today, we're expanding this Gemini integration so people can ask questions and get responses about their images. That means the next time a friend texts you a photo of their new guitar, you can get a description and ask follow-up questions about the make and color, or even what else is in the image. People can now also get descriptions and ask questions about their whole screen. So, if you're shopping for the latest sales on your favorite shopping app, you can ask Gemini about the material of an item or if a discount may be available. Moving now to a feature to support people with contrast sensitivity needs. You could enable a setting called outline text to maximize text contrast across most Android apps to help text stand out. Outline text is available in accessibility, display size, and text settings. Outline text makes text stand out by making a few visual changes to most text on your device by adding a semi-transparent background behind text. It lightens or darkens text color depending on the original color, and it preserves colors of links and other interactive text. Next is an Android system feature that supports people with photosensitivity. Android now offers a system-wide dark theme for most apps in a darker color scheme. Dark theme is available in accessibility color and motion settings, or also in display settings. You can use a new expanded option in Android 16 to automatically apply dark theme to more apps, including some that don't have their own native dark theme. This is helpful for providing a more consistently dark experience across your Android device, which can be particularly helpful for people with photosensitivity where a light theme app can be physically painful. This should work across most light theme only apps without needing any support from an app developer. A new feature, Magnifier, supports visual acuity needs. Google Pixel devices offer an app called Magnifier, which helps you magnify the real world. It uses your camera along with color filters and contrast controls to help you see smaller text, perform detailed tasks, and zoom in to view far away signs. Also, when you capture an image in low light, your phone adjusts brightness automatically. New to Magnifier is now the ability to find text around you with a live search mode. With live search, you can search for specific text when you move your device around until you get a match. To enter the search mode, tap the new search area at the bottom. In the search box, enter your text. In this case, I'm in a boba shop and I'm trying to look for oolong tea. So I type in oolong in the text box. Magnifier, in this case, will then highlight that text, oolong, that matches your search in that live view. Magnifier is available on the Google Play Store for Pixel devices. The last feature I'll share in the vision space is a feature called Guided Frame, which is built into the camera app on Google Pixel phones. Guided Frame offers guidance when taking photos through audio feedback, haptics, and high contrast visuals. It is enabled to work well by default with TalkBack, or it can be enabled separately if you need support on taking photos even when you're not using TalkBack. Guided Frame is designed to provide audio feedback and taking the perfect selfie or group photo. In the latest update, Guided Frame now describes the scenes in which you are taking these photos. For example, if you're trying to take a photo of the Eiffel Tower or Taipei 101, Guided Frame can describe what is in the background in addition to the people you are taking in the foreground. So I'm going to play a video of an example of what Guided Frame looks like.
Getting descriptions. The image shows a building with a window and a large green bush to the right. There is also a smaller bush with pink flowers to the left of the window and low-growing greenery in the foreground.
So as you see here, Guided Frame now is able to provide users a more complete picture of what they are capturing. That includes both the foreground as well as the background. Guided Frame is available for Pixel 6 and above. Next, I'm going to talk about some features that are geared towards people with motor needs. Voice Access is an Android tool designed for anyone who has trouble operating a touchscreen, whether due to paralysis, tremor, or temporary injury. It allows you to tap, swipe, and type hands-free, ensuring your device remains fully accessible. By turning spoken commands into seamless on-screen actions, Voice Access empowers users with low dexterity to navigate with total independence. In our latest update, you can now easily and quickly launch voice access using Gemini. Voice access also has smarter voice typing with improved recognition of punctuation. We've also improved support for password and PIN entry when unlocking your Android device. Plus, it is now also available in Japanese. So shifting gears a little bit, we are moving on to the deaf and hard of hearing space. Starting with captions, we have made new and improved updates that have enabled millions of users to be able to understand their world. Today, captioning is used globally and has continued to expand as more screens have increased in our lives. Live caption gives you real-time captions across most Android devices for almost any type of audio played on your phone, from audio messages to videos and media. Live caption works especially best for live streams and for any videos that don't always have captioning support. Live caption supports 15 languages, including French, Korean, and Hindi, to name just a few. We are also continuously improving our transcription models for better accuracy and latency. With our latest update, our transcription should be more accurate and faster than before. And when we think about captions in the last 50 years, we've come a long way. And capturing what is being said is always helpful, but what we realize is that it's not always enough. For the deaf and hard of hearing people, missing the emotional context means missing a huge part of the message. How words are said is just as important as what is being said. Expressive captions restores that connection, allowing for more meaningful engagement. Instead of utilitarian text, we convey emphasis and intensities by using AI to detect and capture the nuances in speech that make it human, and this is all done in real time, which means our AI models are able to detect and output visual captioning in a matter of milliseconds. We've also used AI to detect non-speech sounds, such as laughter, whistling, even clearing their throat, and cheering, which all adds context to the meaning that comes along with speech. When we're watching a sports clip or watching a comedy short, it's meaningful to know when the crowd is laughing or cheering. The meaning can change dramatically based on emotion. This was a quote that really captures the spirit behind expressive captions. In our latest update that was just released last year for expressive captions, we've trained new AI models to now detect real emotions behind speech. We can now detect when the tone of speech is in a joyful or sadness manner, and it's visually represented in the form of a tag and a glow around the caption box. This is especially helpful when the person's face may not be in view, but there's still speech happening. We are continuing to train new AI models to pick up more complex and nuanced emotions in the future. So definitely stay tuned for more updates in this space. Now moving on to live transcribe. While live caption captures audio on your device, live transcribe captions real-world, face-to-face conversations in over 80 languages and dialects. Live transcribe is an accessibility service built by Google using state-of-the-art automatic speech recognition technology for people who are deaf and hard of hearing. This allows users to interact back and forth with their friends and family, or in everyday situations, such as visiting the doctor or ordering a coffee at the local shop. You can use it anywhere, even while flying with airplane mode on, with 15 languages available offline. Live Transcribe also uses AI to capture surrounding sounds, such as when music is playing in the background, or even when the birds are chirping in the park. And we know that conversations involve multiple people. And so Live Transcribe also supports a unique dual screen mode for Pixel Fold and other foldable devices, making transcriptions and responses more seamless and natural. Without having to share the same screen, users can utilize both outer and inner screens simultaneously, which can be especially helpful when you're facing each other. Google Translate is now also supported within the Live Transcribe app. You can select any part of the transcription on your screen, tap on Translate in the menu, which will bring up the Google Translate window. This allows you to get translations without ever having to leave the app. This makes it more convenient while traveling or when trying to communicate with someone in a different language. Lastly, we've also continued to make many more improvements to Live Transcribe, such as in-context pinch to zoom, to easily adjust your text sizing for easier reading. You will also now be able to export your transcriptions and save them onto your phone, which could be useful in a classroom setting or after an in-person meeting. And there are many more updates, such as better line breaks, as well as better haptics feedback. So continuing on in the deaf and hard of hearing space, Android also continues to focus and improve the relationship between hearing devices, including cochlear implants and hearing aids, and Android devices to ensure more seamless experiences and connection. Starting with a much easier onboarding for people with new hearing devices. We are making LE audio-enabled hearing devices setup much easier by allowing users to pair with their Android device through Fast Pair. After receiving your new hearing device, you simply bring it towards your phone, which will detect and automatically bring up the Fast Pair experience. Your Android will also know what model of hearing devices you have. Throughout the Fast Pair experience, you will be guided through step-by-step instructions to connect both your left and or right hearing devices for a more easy setup. Accessing hearing device controls are also critical when managing and configuring on a daily basis. We are continuously working together with hearing aid manufacturers, audiologists, as well as hearing device users from around the world to make hearing device controls more native and more intuitive in Android. As hearing device hardware continues to advance in technology and users are becoming more technologically savvy, more people are using Bluetooth-enabled hearing devices that can be controlled directly on device. In Android 16, you can now control your left and your right hearing device separately, such as being able to adjust your surroundings volume, without even needing a separate companion app. By controlling directly on Android, it reduces latency, so your settings can be applied quicker as to not disrupt the flow of conversation. You can also mute individual ears, and you can also adjust and control your presets individually, depending on your environment. In addition, you can also view your battery level and your Bluetooth connection status easily. You can enable this by adding a hearing device shortcut directly on your screen, which you can tap to access these controls at any time. By bringing together critical information and controls in one place, the time it takes to make these changes will hopefully be reduced. And last but not least, I'll be sharing with you a new feature called audio sharing, which was just released last year. Audio sharing allows you to share your audio, and others can listen in by scanning a QR code that is generated when you start sharing. This enables one or more people to listen to the same media as you, such as Spotify or YouTube, while still using your hearing devices. Audio sharing is available for all LE audio-enabled hearing devices. And that's everything for Android. And now I'm going to pass it on to James to share updates for the Chrome OS platform.
Great, thank you. All right, let's share some updates. So we're going to actually start with a powerful quote from Harper Lee. This is the author of To Kill a Mockingbird. Quote, "Until I feared I would lose it, I never loved to read. One does not love breathing." For me, this viscerally underscores the importance not only of reading, but of accessibility more broadly as being as fundamental to our lives as breathing. To support our users in their reading journeys, we've continued to make improvements to Chrome Reading Mode. This is our built-in feature that lets users customize their reading experience to meet their individual needs. Reading Mode lets you extract the main text and reduce distractions, and it gives you full control over fonts, colors, and spacing. Our major new feature for this year is that we now support Read Aloud across Windows, Mac, and Linux in addition to Chromebooks. That brings natural-sounding voices to 29 languages across every platform that Chrome supports, which helps anyone who finds it easier to consume content by listening. And we've also made the side panel width adjustable, so you can grow or shrink that as you'd like. Let me show you these features in action. Yay. Okay, let's first open Reading Mode. Reading Mode's now open, so we're going to show you the adjustable side panel. So you'll see here that we're dragging that middle divider, and you can see how the main panel shrinks.
Help every student learn how they learn best. With built-in accessibility features and generative AI capabilities, Google for Education can help students and educators customize their learning tools and create inclusive learning environments so they can study, teach, and collaborate with confidence.
Great. So what you could see there or hear there is that the audio and the speaking still sounded good, even at the higher speeds. Next, I'll show you our new Chromebook features, starting with face control. So for users with limited hand dexterity or mobility, using mice, trackpad, or keyboards can be difficult. Face control uses machine learning to track your facial movements and gestures, which provides an alternative to traditional inputs for pointing, clicking, and typing. Let's try again to show you a quick demo. Actually, before I show you the demo, I'll talk you through it because it moves kind of quickly. So what you're going to see is that the user will tilt their head to move the pointer, and then they'll make a facial expression to simulate a click. Then they're going to use their voice to type an email, and finally use facial movements and gestures again to click send. All right, let's roll it. So we're tilting down, facial expression to click.
Hey, are we still on for tonight at 6? I can't wait.
Tilting down again to move the cursor, another facial expression to click send. And that's just a glimpse of what face control offers. We actually have 18 distinct gestures that we support, and many more actions than that, including left, right, double clicks, drag and drop, screenshots, scrolling, and more that you can bind to those gestures. We support a variety more features for people with limited dexterity, and actually we've added 3 this year. Bounce keys is designed for users with tremors or motor conditions that might cause them to strike the same key multiple times rapidly in a row. With bounce keys enabled, those additional key presses will be ignored and only one character will be typed. Slow keys is designed for individuals who might accidentally strike keys while they're moving their hands across the keyboard. This requires you to hold a key down for a specific period before the character is accepted. Mouse keys let the users control the cursor with their keyboard. This is useful for users who might have limited strength or mobility, like someone with repetitive strain injuries or arthritis. And with mouse keys activated, this gives you keyboard shortcuts that allow you to move the cursor up, down, left, or right, or click. And finally, we have flash notifications. This feature is useful to a variety of disabilities. When flash notifications are on, the screen flashes anytime a notification pops up. This is useful to make sure you don't miss out on any important notifications, for example, because you have the magnifier viewport active or you just don't hear the earcon. And we've got a set of fun overlay colors that you can customize to your liking. So that's it for Chrome and Chromebook in this session, but you're going to be able to hear lots more today at a dedicated session at 11:20, What's New in Chromebook and Android Accessibility in Grand CD. So for now, I'm going to hand off to Jing, who's our UX design lead for Android XR.
Awesome. Thanks, James. So next up, let's deep dive into the world of Android XR, where accessibility design takes on a whole new spatial dimension. Android XR, it's a brand new spatial operating system for next-gen headsets and glasses. Android XR combines Gemini's helpfulness with an awareness of your surroundings to bring you new ways to use an AI assistant and experience apps and games. The Galaxy XR headset offers a first look at this new way of interacting with technology and experience spatial content. We have adapted familiar accessibility features on Android and reimagined them in Android XR for vision needs such as talkback, magnification, or mobility needs such as multimodal gaze and hover actions, and hearing access needs such as live caption. We also have innovated new assistive technology, leveraging multimodal natural input methods. Talkback in Android XR allows users to use hand gestures to navigate across the system, such as single pinch with left or right hand to focus on items, and double pinch to activate the item. You can also use reading controls for navigation. In XR, you can seamlessly swipe through content and use fist gesture to transition between navigating linearly or exploratively. In Explore mode, you can use hand aiming to hover over any UIs and hear announcements. We spatialized magnification window, so it can sit within a comfortable viewing distance. You can magnify both the digital content and immersive environment. Or you have the headset in pass-through mode. The magnification window enlarges your physical world. We also added gesture shortcuts, so you can quickly toggle on-off magnification, resize the window, change zoom level, and toggle on-off the setting menu. Android XR supports seamless transition between hand input and gaze as input, allow users to prioritize on precision when they want to manipulate the content, or comfort when they want to sit back and relax while enjoying immersive entertainment. Leverage our eye tracking. You can use gaze only to interact with the digital world. Keep your gaze on the object you want to select. The selection completes automatically. You can customize the duration, set how long you must keep your gaze on an item before it's selected, or movement tolerance, set how much your cursor can move before the hover action cancels. You can change to different primary gestures and system navigation with the hover action menu. The menu can expand or collapse, so it doesn't obscure the content viewing experience. And finally, we have spatialized live caption, located in a comfortable viewing angle that allows users to easily focus on the panel live caption is being transcribed from at the same time. The panel softly follows your head movement, so you can switch easily between panels. And that wraps up the highlight of accessibility on Android XR. This is only the beginning. We have many opportunities ahead as we scale from headset to AI glasses this year to address real-world challenges with our AI-powered spatial operating system. And now over to NM, our accessibility standards content lead.
Thank you so much, Jing. I'm excited to dive into some accessibility improvements across a few products, starting with my favorite Google app, YouTube. First up, we have the introduction of speaker turn indicators for captions. So captions on YouTube now mark the point in the video's audio where a new person begins to speak. With this update, we now indicate these changes within auto-generated captions with a double greater than sign. A version of expressive captions is now available on YouTube videos in English across all devices, providing our viewers a more immersive content experience. On YouTube, expressive captions display the intensity of speech in all caps, expressions of sounds like sighs and gasps, as well as noises from the environment. I encourage you to check it out while watching sports. That's my favorite application. YouTube videos in English uploaded after this past October, showcase these expressive captions, and we'll continue rolling this feature out on more videos. Auto-dubbing from one language to another is now available to everyone in the expanded library of 27 languages. To make auto-dubs even more natural, we're currently testing a lip sync pilot that subtly mimics the speaker's lip movements to translated audio, so a dubbed video feels as seamless as watching the original. This will assist people who use lip reading to help understand speech. Now, let's adventure on to Google Maps. With Maps, you can rely on Gemini to explore what's around you. Just tap on the camera in the search bar, hold your phone up to identify places like restaurants, cafes, shops, or famous landmarks in your view. When you see pins, tap the mic to ask questions about the place, like you would a friend. What's this place? Why is it popular? Or what's the vibe inside? You can speak very naturally. The powerful combination of Gemini capabilities and Google Maps' understanding of places around the world gets you the answers you need, helping you decide in a moment if a spot's actually worth the wait. Lens is now available in the US. Now into the world of workspace accessibility. If raising your hand is easier than interacting with an on-screen button, you can now raise your physical hand and Meet will recognize it with gesture detection. To ensure the gesture is indeed detected, make sure your camera is enabled and your hand is visible to the camera, away from your face and body. As an active speaker, the gesture detection will not be triggered, but when you're no longer the active speaker, gesture detection will resume. Meet now also allows you to hide non-video tiles. We've added this capability so that users can avoid clutter on the screen if they're interested in only seeing participants with their videos on. This was a highly requested feature from our deaf and hard of hearing users, as well as users looking to limit on-screen distractions. Note that this feature, unlike our tile pairing feature launched last year, is only specific to your meeting view, and it doesn't impact what other participants see or set for their own layouts during the meeting. So to hide non-video tiles, you can go to Settings, then Change Layout, and hide tiles without video. Also in Google Meet, you can now customize the styling of captions, including the font size, font type, color, and background color. This allows for the captions to be customized in a way that works best for you. You can customize captions during a meeting by hovering over the captions, or by going to Settings, then Captions, and customize your captions. Your settings will persist across your meetings, and you can change them at any time. In 2024, we announced that users can automatically generate captions for any video uploaded to Google Drive, improving the accessibility of videos and saving users the effort of manually creating captions. To build upon this feature and make information discovery, referencing, and productivity with video content much more efficient, we're excited to introduce video transcripts. So Google Drive users can now view and search transcripts for their videos. The transcript appears in a sidebar next to the video player, and it highlights the currently spoken text. Now, this update makes it easy to find specific moments, follow along with the content, or just jump directly to the part of the video that you actually need. One of our newer products called Google Vids. It's an AI-powered video creation app for work, designed to help anyone become a great storyteller. It now allows users to create styled animated captions that synchronize with audio and media elements. These captions act as a helpful visual guide, improving video comprehension and making content easier for viewers to track. Now, if there are spelling or grammar errors within the styled captions, users can, of course, edit and correct the captions. Now, back over to Perrin to discuss resources and support.
Thanks, Anam. We're in the last section now. We're on section 8, resources and support. Feel free to take pictures, but we are going to have a QR code at the end that has all the links we're about to go through. So take pictures or wait towards end. The Google Accessibility Resource Hub brings the best of Google's external accessibility resources together in one place. This is a great place for developers, designers, and technologists of all types looking to build a more accessible world. It's very easy to find. It's just google.com/accessibility. If you're an Android user, I know we threw a lot at you today. Or if you're interested in switching over to Android, make sure to check out Android Accessibility site. There we've got an overview of our latest products and dedicated pages for vision, audio, and mobility. We're trying to get you over. Android.com/accessibility will have all of that info. For all things Chromebook accessibility as well, we have another site. That's going to be google.com/Chromebook/accessibility. Here's a full page of additional resources. You're going to find those on our Google CSUN site. Some great callouts. We have an accessibility help center. There's also ways to contact disability support agents. So feel free to swing by our booth later. We'll help you out however we can. But after CSUN, we highly recommend those support agents. It's a great way to get help, also share feedback with our team. You can also sign up for our newsletter. That way you don't have to wait until CSUN next year to get all of these amazing updates. We also have a Google Accessibility YouTube playlist, very similar format to what we have here at CSUN, where we regularly upload videos running through what's new in our features, products across all of Google. Again, all of these links are available at our Google at CSUN site. That is bit.ly, so bit.ly/Google CSUN. We also have the QR code on the screen. I see a few people taking pictures. Maybe it's of me right now. I'll give you an extra second. Okay, sweet. Some great news. This is actually our first of 8 sessions here at CSUN, so we have a lot more amazing content. At 10:20 a.m., we have Shifting Left, making accessibility core to your design process in Platinum 6. At 11:20 a.m., we have What's New in Chromebook and Android Accessibility, a deeper dive than here. That's at Grand CD. At 2:20 p.m., we have Scaling Mobile Accessibility with Google Open Source Libraries at Platinum 8. And then to round out the end of the day, we have the Feature versus Foundation, Google on AI and Accessibility in Grand GH, 4:20 p.m. Great news, we're also here tomorrow. There's going to be 2 more sessions at 9:20 a.m., early in the morning, inside the VPAT, a conversation with the authors in Orange County 1, and 11:20 a.m., when satisfied isn't satisfying, ACE-L, an accessibility scale. This is deep diving into an awesome new UXR methodology and framework around measuring satisfaction with the accessibility community. We want to leave this slide. Thank you heaps for joining us today. Really, thank you for getting up early in the morning. That was also a lot of updates. We kindly ask you to fill out this quick survey. Your feedback, again, is so important for us. We truly bring that back to the teams building these products. We have a QR code up on screen with that link. It's going to be bit.ly/A11Y event_survey. Feel free to take a picture of the QR code, fill out our form. We'll be available to chat. Feel free to come up front right after this if you have any questions. We're huge nerds. We're down to geek out with you. Or we'll be at our booth all day. Come on, swing by there. Come on, swing by tomorrow. We're at booth 610. We hope everyone has an amazing CSUN.